That Roach may be the most skillful fighter you have fought in your career. Do you agree with that assessment, and how would you rate Roach's skills?
I agree. I totally agree. He got good skills. That's why he's here. You know what I mean?
I don't really care too much about the outside critics. I know what I could do in the ring, and that's the only thing that matters, honestly, is that I go out and give it my all and perform. And most likely, 9 times out of 10, when I do that, I'll be victorious.
At the first press conference for their highly anticipated rematch, Gervonta, Tank Davis, and Lamont Roach brought intense energy to Las Vegas. The atmosphere made it clear how much this fight means to Tank. Leonard Ellerbe and Calvin Ford were also back, sitting at the main table with him and each sharing a few words before the fighters spoke. When Lamont Roach took the mic, he kept it short, thanking the crowd and vowing to come back even stronger this time.
Tank.
I take that compliment very well, and it lets me know that he is 100% focused, and that he gonna bring his A game. You know, that's what's all a part of this. Is gonna make it a great fight. That's what a lot of people are missing. That's what, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people don't get. So that's the thing right there. Like he's attentive, he's aware, and he know that, and that's part of the, you know, that's what got him here.
I know I faced the best version of Tank in our first fight, but I hope he shows up even better this time. I'm prepared for anything he brings on fight night, and trust me, I'll be coming in stronger too, Roach said as he returned to his seat earlier. Leonard Ellerbe, a key voice from Gervonta Davis's team, spoke before Roach and pointed out that Tank was going through personal issues during their last fight and that Lamont had only seen a distracted version of him.
Hey, Tank Davis, we gonna see. He's gonna let you know there are a few things on the table, so we'll see what happens.
In your opinion, does Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson ever happen?
Of course. Why not? Why not?
That's the fight the world.
I'm not discrediting Lamont, but the Tank you saw in March wasn't himself. He was dealing with personal struggles and we weren't there to support him, and that made the difference. Now it's not just Tank coming back, it's the whole team showing up better and more focused. I truly don't think Lamont will make it to the final bell once the pressure starts. In response, a major part of Lamont Roach's comeback directly addressed what Leonard Ellerbe had said.
Got active. Do you go into a press conference like, I'm trying to make a movie or I'm trying to match energy? Like, what's your approach to a press conference?
Be chilling, like how we all right now. You hear me? Like, yeah. I be in my element. 9 times out of 10, I'm thinking about the fight and what I'm gonna do. But
when Tank Davis got up to speak, he had an unusually serious expression, showing he means business this time. It's clear he's taken lessons from the past and is completely focused on not repeating old mistakes. Thanks to everyone who still believes in me. I've changed, I've learned, I know what it's like to hit rock bottom, but on August 16th it's a new chapter. I'm unleashing the beast in me for real.
I rule the weekend. I rule the weekend for sure. He just doing what he have to do, trying to psych himself out for the fight and things like that. But come March the 1st, it's all about skill versus skill, and who had the better skill that night is going to be the victorious person.
Many believe Gervonta Davis is stepping into this fight looking for revenge. After all, he was the favorite last time and had only gone the distance twice in his whole career. That's why most boxing fans see Davis as the one out for redemption, since Lamont Roach gave him a loss that marked his record.
Great talent, you know, fighting on the card Saturday night. So I just want to be here and give it my all. You know, I'm grateful and happy to be a part of this event and be able to be at this level in my career. So I want to just say thank y'all for coming out.
But the truth is, Lamont Roach was the one who got robbed in that fight. The draw only happened because the judges, the referee, the WBA, and the New York State Athletic Commission all made some questionable calls. So if anyone has a real reason to come back for revenge, it's Lamont Roach, who had the biggest win of his career taken away due to carelessness and corruption in the sport.
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, that's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder. If that didn't get me the win, and I have room. I definitely have room.
What makes this fight even more thrilling is the possibility of it leading to a trilogy, especially since Gervonta Davis has never had a rematch before. The idea of a 3-fight series brings a whole new level of excitement. Throughout his career, there's been talk of rematches with guys like Ryan Garcia and Pitbull Cruz, but none actually happened until Lamont Roach came in and changed the narrative. Many believe this rematch will be just as tight as the first, since both fighters have strong technical skills and sharp fight IQ, and what really gives Lamont Roach an edge is his rock-solid chin, which helped him absorb Tank's biggest shots without flinching.
Crack you and, you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built the same, and that's what people getting messed up. He did a whole lot of things that was good in that fight, a whole lot. And I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't as good of a fighter as he was, that would have been, you know what I'm saying? I would have steamrolled him. Don't get that misconstrued. He's still the guy he is. It's just he ran into a guy that's on the same level.
Tank's usual strategy of relying on knockout power might not be enough in this rematch. If he really wants to win, he'll have to focus on boxing smart and outthinking Lamont Roach in the ring. Lamont is a tough competitor who doesn't go down like most of Tank's past opponents. In fact, it was Tank who got caught by one of Lamont's hooks in their first fight. Lamont likes to stay close and trade punches in the pocket right in the middle of the action. And that's a big test for Tank, who's more used to fighters stepping back when he starts letting his hands go.
When you lock up, is he
He's too
strong?
small.
Tell that man too small, bro. Y'all in the same weight class.
That's a new weight class for
moved
me. A new weight class for me.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all was that night. Y'all was in the same weight class. And he still feel like he too small.
He was too small.
Dang.
I'm just calling a spade. No disrespect, no nothing. He's just too small. I've been in there with some big guys.
There's a lot riding on this rematch, and the recent face-off is just the beginning of the hype that will keep building until August, after one of the most debated and talked about fights in recent memory between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. on March 1st. Boxing fans everywhere have been waiting for them to go at it again and finally settle the score after their first fight ended in a majority draw.
Tank want a rematch. Do you let me know now? Do you want to fight Tank again? He said he open to do a rematch. Do you want to fight Tank
100%. It's only a matter of time. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight again. It's just whenever the fight gonna happen.
So it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Okay. They say they want it in New York again. Do you want to fight again in the Barclays Center?
I wouldn't mind, but I'd love for it to be in DC.
Okay.
I'd love for it to be in DC.
It soon became clear that both teams were serious about making the rematch happen, and Sports Illustrated's Chris Mannix backed it up with a post saying the Tank vs. Roach rematch could take place as early as June 21st in Las Vegas, with both sides now fully committed to the fight and the date and venue almost locked in. Fans on social media have been busy picking sides. One user even shared 2 photos from their first clash and wrote, "Roach is beating that guy again, mate."
I happen to be a boxing fan, that the fact that I do watch him fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we taking?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July.
I'm thinking July for sure.
Another fan posted a gif of a cockroach holding a lightsaber, clearly showing love for Roach. On the flip side, many are picking Davis to win this time around. One fan said, "I had Roach slightly ahead in the first fight, 115-113, but I think Tank will make the right adjustments and take the rematch." Another chimed in saying Roach will put up a good fight, but Tank is getting the knockout in the later rounds. As the expected rematch date gets closer, the hype and excitement around the fight keeps building.
That was the first fight in a long time when Tank first started. His body was that defined. You saw his body.
In the first fight, most people thought it would be an easy win for Gervonta Davis and his team. Right from the announcement of the matchup with Lamont Roach, Team Davis looked confident and showed no concern. Roach had a strong name, a good record, and a title, but was still viewed as the smaller man and a clear underdog. But from the very first round, Roach came out with something to prove. He boxed smart from a distance, and even when Davis pulled him into close-range exchanges, he held his own without any issues.
In that DMV area, there's a lot of talent, and nobody wants to lose. Nobody wants to lose. So I knew it was going to be a hard fight. Just been going on forever. We all help each other. They know our strengths. They know our secrets. We know theirs, and vice versa. So that is what made for a good fight.
When the final bell rang, the crowd at Brooklyn's Barclays Center was left shocked. After 36 minutes of non-stop action, it was impossible to tell who had won as the judges tallied the scores. Team Davis waited patiently, but their smiles slowly disappeared when the result was announced. For the first time in his pro career, Davis had to settle for a majority draw with no clear win. Backstage, he dropped into his chair while his team, including Barry Hunter, looked frustrated. Hunter, who filled in as lead trainer with Calvin Ford absent, believed the judges got it wrong and that Davis had faced a real fight that night.
Well, I knew he would be hungry. I knew he was going to fight extremely hard. I told you earlier, Lamont Roach was never a cheap date. So we knew that going into this fight. I thought there were opportunities when we were inside. We should have took advantage of a few things on the inside. But for the most part, this was a fight based on strategy. This was a fight, actually.
There's no point in softening it. Barry Hunter firmly believes Davis sealed the win in the final rounds of a close fight. In an interview with ES News, he said, "We respect the other side, but I felt the last 2 rounds made the difference. I thought we did enough to get it done. The biggest key for Gervonta Davis in the rematch is sticking to the serious training he promised after the fight following the frustrating draw with Lamont Roach. Davis said he'd take just a week off before heading straight back into camp."
Your mind when you heard the decision?
Nobody like a draw, you know, from a guy that get knockouts and things like that, but it's cool. I feel like if we fight again, I could do more, and I should have did more. I was lost in I lost track in the rounds. That's why we need what is it called? Yeah.
No matter what's happening in Gervonta Davis's world right now, boxing fans are pumped for the rematch with Lamont Roach. This time people are expecting Davis to follow through on the promise he made to Roach when he said, "I'm gonna chop Bob and weave. I'm finishing it in the 9th round. I enjoy proving people wrong. They come in full of hype, but I let my performance speak for itself. Even when I won my first title, the whole arena didn't believe I could do it."
I didn't know what round it was. Facts.
Tank, Eric Blum from DailyMail.com. First off, your coach just said, can you confirm, did you get your hair done 2 days before the fight?
Yeah. I ran water over it today, but I must ain't do it enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring?
But let's break down how it all unfolded. 5-time 3-division world champion Gervonta Davis returned to the Barclays Center, the same place where he set records in May 2022 for the biggest crowd and highest earnings after knocking out Rolando Romero at the press conference for the rematch. Davis and Roach picked up right where they left off, reigniting their rivalry that goes back to their amateur days, and both guaranteed an action-packed fight when they meet in the ring again.
I say 9th round.
What?
I say 9th round.
You said 9th?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look, he looked at night.
I'm telling him.
I said 9th round. What did I say? 9th round. You heard me, Davis repeated while pointing at Lamont, then said, "Look, he got scared. Look, he looked at you." The crowd fed off the energy as Davis kept going. "The energy in here is unreal. I won my first title in this building and I've got more fans in New York than almost anywhere. New Yorkers bring that real energy." He gave Lamont some respect, saying he's got real skills even at a lighter weight. "He's one of the guys I came up with in boxing and he's still here at a high level. People will see that on March 1st, but we're going to test that chin. He might think my past opponents didn't have one, but we'll see. I say leave the kids at home." Lamont Roach fired back with confidence, saying, "I wouldn't be here if I didn't believe I could win. I've hurt everyone I've stepped in the ring with, and this fight will be no different."
You going down in a 9th? You know that power curry late.
I know you got some sneaky power. That's what I do know.
What?
Who said that? You said what? You said.
This is a big chance and we're going all in. Everyone knows what I bring to the ring, and if you don't, you're about to find out. I'm going to show what it looks like when 2 real fighters go toe-to-toe. My team has been with me since the start. We built my career step by step and took every fight that helped me grow. I earned my spot as the #1 contender, took a loss and came back even better. We both faced Hector Luis Garcia and I beat him easily. His last fight looked simple, but that's because Frank was green and nervous. This time it's a whole different story. When I step in, he'll be dealing with a completely different kind of fighter.
Towel out to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning. And you know, like, you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than, you know. But I didn't really know that you can like get disqualified for all that. Or like when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's cool.
Do you want that rematch next? And if so, how likely?
Fighting each other in the amateurs is nothing like what we're about to do now. We've both developed, improved, and changed our styles over the years. Maybe there are a few old habits we still notice, but those won't matter when it's time to perform under the lights. I'm not worried about being the underdog or the favorite. Either way, I'm stepping in there to win. There's been a lot said about Tank choosing to fight me, and when I got my turn at the podium, I made sure to let everyone know exactly where I stand on it.
Talk. How much you want back? How much you want to bet? Because I came up here alone. How much y'all want back? How much you want back? Just call it out. Huh? 100? That's a bet.
How much you want to bet? How much do you really want to bet? I came up here alone, so how much are y'all putting on it? Just stop playing. Alright, 100, that's a bet. Roach snapped before shifting to a more serious tone. This is a huge moment and we're going to make the most of it. Everyone knows what I came here to do, and if you don't then you're in for a surprise. I don't think Tank will be surprised, though I believe he took this fight not just to quiet the critics but because deep down he knows I'm a real one and he wants to test himself against that kind of pressure, and I'm going to show what happens when two warriors step into the ring, and trust me, I'm coming out on top. Then it was Tank's turn. I'm excited to be part of this, and when March 1st comes it's going to be a great night. I'm not really in the mood to talk too much right now, but on fight night it's going to be a show. Same result, we just have to wait and see. We've got 3 months to get ready, so it's going to be a good one.
In your next fight?
He has skills. Even though he's at a smaller weight class, I feel as though Lamont have, and he's someone that's one of the guys that I actually started with, and
Afterward, Davis gave Roach his respect, recognizing their past and how things have changed since their amateur days. Lamont's a great fighter, he's got real skills like I've said before, and he's got power too, Davis said, now having to live with a draw in the pros even though he beat Roach twice back in their amateur days.
During this fight here, you showed the world that you didn't back down, because of course leading into the fight, folks were saying, oh, Tank's opponents get intimidated and everything like that, but of course, like you said in the press conference, you ready to boogie. Because you already knew what it was, between you and Tank. So
it wasn't really hard for me to focus because all I had to do was do what I normally do. And I know that was going to surprise or shock or shut everybody up.
Paulie, what I'm curious about, you talked earlier in the fight, we're discussing this before we went on air, you talked about the scoring criteria of a lot of the judges went with Gervonta Davis early on in the fight. You thought that was unfair, inappropriate. You didn't score it that way at all, Paul.
Well, I feel like a lot of times there's this misconception.
For Gervonta Davis, it was a learning experience, and he didn't hold back from saying so while giving credit to Lamont Roach and his team. Davis said, hopefully we can do it again in New York. Let's run it back, baby. Roach, proud of how he performed, agreed there's still more to settle between them. He also called Davis a great fighter and thanked him for giving him the chance to prove himself to all the doubters. That's it for now. For more updates, highlights, and moments from the boxing world, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications so you never miss any of the action. Until next time, peace.